Taurus, to your numerology reading for June. I hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, friends, let's see what's going on with you and your numerology this month. Ooh, got some individuality coming out. Be authentic. Really talking about that authenticness to yourself. Really digging deep into what is it you really truly want for yourself on an individual, process. Really, it is kind of a process if you think about it. Okay, so going straight to the throat chakra over here, talking about 5, that change. We have 2, which is balance. When you always want to keep yourself balanced as much as possible, because it's also going to bring in a lot of great patience for yourself to really get down to the vitality and the truthfulness of what it is you truly want. And then talking about the throat chakra is definitely talking about that creativity of the throat chakra through communication. So there could even be something you're listening to, something you really want to read into. Maybe you're listening to somebody else's story, really taking some kind of information from a situation, or maybe you want to push some information out. It's your story. You know what it is. Remember, if it doesn't resonate with you, my friends, you can always go watch your rising moon or Venus, right? So definitely talking about spreading your wings with the 2, and there comes that 2 again. This 1 is also one which is talking about self, right? The self, the individual. So this number here is 1, 1, breaking down to 1 of the self, but can also be added to 2 for the balance, because you want to make sure that you're always balanced. Spread your wings to fly, talking about walking that rainbow bridge to find what it truly is that you want, and really looking deep within yourself. And then we have the Leo coming out. Ooh, yeah, love that. Now this is where that fire is going to come in, and this is where the passion is really going to drive everything, right? So this Leo coming out, which is a 5 as well, is talking about using the passion to change what it is that you really want through the communication of and creativity of getting to where you need to be. So, and that Leo is a fixed, right? Is a fixed sign. So there you go. It's fixed. It's fixed. So it's non-moving. It's not going to move. It doesn't want to move. So Leo is also saying that I will, right? So you figure if you're going through your chakras over here, it's saying with your intention, I can, right? Your desire over here says, I want. And the Leo then comes together and says, that fire energy says, yeah, well, I will do so. I can have it. I want it. I will. So, gotta love that. And this is where you're going to actually focus a lot of your attention to the situation, because Leo is very focused, very skilled focused, right? They have to focus if they're good. Think of the lion. It has to stay focused to get its prey. So, and this is no time to be shy, but instead accept the spotlight. The I will says that you shall have it and it shall be done, because you will make this happen. Ask yourself how I can shine. Gather all your courage and confidence and create your reality. And this is one of those things, right? This is one of those things where it's saying, but if I look truly to it, if I really use the communication and the creativity, I can actually make the wings spread over here to really get done what I need to get done. And it will be done because I said it's going to be done. So there's nothing that's going to hold you back on this one, because once you get to where it is, through your individuality, you're going to actually have more power. So this is actually getting into your own self of what it truly is you want, builds that power, right? Because no one's going to stop yourself, right? And you're not going to listen to what other people have to say either, because with that kind of courage and that knowing that you have about a situation, that's where you become unstoppable, unbreakable, right, and persistent for what you're passionate about. And then the Temple of the Truth says the throat chakra, authenticity, and self-expression. Okay, so yes, you're going to be authentic to yourself. So wanting to be authentic to yourself is saying this is where the water is going to go. And you are definitely, once you get to this Temple of Truth within your mind, remember this is all kind of like within the mind and then within the soul, really opening up the gateways of yourself. It's in its power itself. Water is very powerful. you know, and just kind of like, I don't know, I just see this water here and it's like flooding you. Because now you're in the knowing of who you are. Oh, oh boy. Right? And that's a very powerful thing. See, look, guys, most of the time, the only reason we become not individual is because other people want to weigh down their stuff on other people, right? We have to weigh on societies, this and that, or we have to do what this and that. But if you think about being a small child, you were who you were, right? You were who you were. It was school that ends up, now I want to be like Sarah because she's got the cool shoes because the other kids said so. Oh, I want ponytails like, you know, like Natalie over there because her ponytails are really cool. And that's fine. That's fine, you know, to see other things that are creative and want to do them as well. But remember, when it comes to, you know, the authentic piece within yourself, after you become a child and then you start getting and growing, you start losing pieces of ourselves due to society or groups of people where you try to do something and maybe they make you feel bad about, you know, the way you laugh or the way you smile or, you know, and then you're always trying to fix things, right? Maybe trying to fix little things about the situation. So now you're going to go back to the roots of what is what for this reason to get to what you need to be able to spread your wings to fly. And this is where you're saying, well, I am very creative. I can do my own thing. I don't need to listen to what they're saying. Now, look, most of the times we have to do what society says because that's, you know what I mean? No matter what, there's still a beehive somewhere. Right, you can't always be just the crazy one. You also have, you know, there's limitations and boundaries to everything. But on this specific area, it's saying, this is where I want you to really shine. This is where I want you to be authentic. This is where I want you to really be yourself. You want to go splatter paint on, you know, on some canvas and call it art or schniz. You never know. It might actually sell. Somebody might want that. Okay? And this, many people do. You know what I mean? You know that you have a goal and you have a dream and you are following your goal, your dream, what makes you smile. See, because this is about you. This isn't about Ralph. This isn't about them. This is about where I'm shining as a star. And the star, this, you know, this is a Leo sign, so this is the sun. The sun is a star, so you got a lot of star power. You might be Star Lord, you know, however. I don't know, that's a great movie, though. I just thought about it. I was like, hey, Star Lord. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, because you're going to be able to look deeper within the cup, and she's a very authentic person as well, right? The Queen of Cups, she says, no, I'm authentic. I do pretty much what I want to do because now I use compassion. So where the passion's going to go, there's going to, therefore, on the truth, within the spread your wings is now coming compassion, right? Because this is where you're going to start having compassion to kind of nurture the situation, look deep within the cup, use the intuition, and say, aha, I got this. And Spirit says, yeah, because I'm pushing you towards what it is I really, truly want you to see. Right? So if you guys are seeing 1s and 2s and 5s, you know, see what I'm saying? It's because they're trying to get you to where you need to be. Right? And maybe 3s. That creativity. So you have the 1 with the Magician, and it says, yeah, because this is going to be the time where you're really going to feel the magic. You're really going to feel the manifestations coming around you, and you're going to actually start creating, right? As we're manifesting, we're creating. So you're creating what you need through your own individuality to say, this is where I'm going, this is where I want to have, and I'm going to nurture this situation as an, whoa, now you become an imprint, right? Well, because you're also kind of have a rebirth in its own way. See, because she's birthing over here, as you see, she's holding the baby. So she's kind of like birthing these new ideas. She's putting in and nurturing everything that she is growing through her crops. So she is harvesting what she wants with the birth of everything that she's doing, right? So you're birthing new creativities. You're birthing new ideas. And then maybe talking about them with the throat chakra. But what you put out is what you're receiving in. So it's saying it's time to get creative, really talk about what it is you really truly want, so that we can really start seeing everything start coming and flowing together in its own purpose. Now we're going to talk about a purpose. What is the purpose? The star says you have to have a purpose. You know what your purpose is. Have faith and hope and watch it gather itself in. Now you got like a shooting star coming in, right? And once the shooting star keeps going, it becomes like this chariot, right? Because now it's on the roll. You always see like the shooting star is like, okay, here comes the chariot, right? Because now it's almost like a comet coming through. But, you know, it's the whole point is of this situation is what Spirit's saying is like, you know, if you don't do what it is you creatively want to do and people tell you, oh, that's a stupid idea. Oh my gosh, how many times have I heard that? That's a dumb idea. And then I do something amazing and I actually do it and they're like, whoa, how'd you do that? Well, wouldn't you want to know? Right? Because you're making the wisest judgment call by learning whatever it is you're learning and creating whatever you're creating, and then actually communicating it, whether you're communicating it with someone else or listening to somebody else's something and then pulling from that, however it is. But with the judgment over here, it's saying, yeah, hey, this is good. You know, this has a great, you know, this is going to blossom. This has a great turnout. This is going to have a wonderful turnout because the judgment always shows the blossoming of the situation that's going into the effect. So it's saying now you've got it. So really pay attention to that, my friends. Okay, so let's see what we got going on over here. Got these new Doreen Virtue cards for my anniversary, so let's use them and see what's going on. And oh, the power of prayer. Well, there's that manifestation. Call it what you want. Prayer, manifesting, you know. However, good vibes, hope, meditation, it's all the same. Give the situation to the universe for uplifting and healing and be open to your miracles. Remember that heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are always waiting with your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives to you in response to your prayers. And this is true because as you law of attraction, as you throw it out there, you receive what you get back as long as you are willing enough to open up your heart chakra to receive what it is you really need. And then, of course, have the faith, the trust, and the hope that everything will come back. It's always on a time limit, right? It's not going to happen tomorrow. A lot of people give up because they expect it to happen in 5 days from now. That is number one, usually never does happen. Number two, and if it does do that, that's what we consider a true miracle. It depends on what you're doing. Everybody's thing is different. But most people do these and then they want to snap and expect them. But I also blame the movie The Secret for that as well. Okay. Yeah, I love this one. This one, it's kind of different, but it reminds me of spiritual reading. This one's sever vows of poverty. Make sure that whatever you're doing, do not have poverty conscious mind. Oh, we've read about those before. Remember it. The whole point about this is remember your law of attraction. If you believe you're poor, you're going to stay poor, my friend. Because you won't be able to see the little miracles that are happening within your life. You won't be able to see the small abundances that come in. Even when you do make a bigger paycheck, you'll say, whoa, that's great for now, but I'll be poor tomorrow. Instead of building and putting the direction of the time, the place, and all of the energy where it needs to be. So you pretty much put yourself into self-denial that you have made your own conscious or unconscious choice about the situation. So you consciously make that and it stays in the unconscious until you actually fix it, because now you have put yourself in a mindset. So pretty much what it's saying about this situation, putting it towards this, is through your creativity and your individuality of the situation, remember that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. Even if it doesn't come out great the first time, never tell yourself you cannot do it. Maybe in the end, maybe something, maybe you certain things you can't. But maybe you can work around them, find something else that's more that level, maybe more, you know what I'm saying? Something a little different. So, but always remember that no matter what it is, keep your head up, keep your chin up, because we might not always be made for what we want to be made for, but it doesn't mean that you're not made for nothing. You're always made for something. Oh, look at that. It says, maybe I'm a conscious consumer. Ooh, I consciously consume things and then I push them out to you. Well, thank you, Spirit. Okay, guys. Until next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.